Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Do you remember Publishers Clearinghouse?
Yes, I do.
If you had to open your door to a Publishers Clearinghouse check, who would you want to receive that from?
Ooh, that's such a good question. Like, who is the celebrity that presents your...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I did see all of the, actors on Actors have been promoting on TikTok to me because they're like, hey, this is your thing.
Yeah, they know that's your special interest.
and they're not wrong, right? And I saw one from Jon Hamm, who's just, fine fucking wine, that dude, right?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like if I opened my door and Jon Hamm was there holding one of those comically large checks, I feel like I would drop dead.
Yeah.
But the problem is, though, I would have that same reaction if fucking Julian Solomita was there.
Fuck, that would be... He would deliver a check like nobody's business. Are you kidding?
And he would love it.
He would bring to the space.
And not to, boot my snoot, but I've had interactions with a lot of celebrities, and I don't really get... I don't really get, starstruck.
Sure, yeah.
But I would get starstruck for Jon Hamm.
That's, incredibly valid.
And also Julian, because I know that he would just have a really good time handing out one of those really big Publishers Clearinghouse checks.
Goofy checks, yeah.
Right.
I don't know why this is the first thing that comes to my mind, but I feel like Macaulay Culkin would really bring something to
the
table.
Oh my god.
There. Oh, Michael Cera. That would be...
Yes.
He wouldn't bring the energy, but he would bring, the gratitude.
Something about Natasha Lyonne would give very much one of the three ghosts energy.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of beautiful.
Yeah, and sometimes you need that, you get humbled when you're like, here's, $10,000 or whatever.
Yeah, something about making that Publishers Clearinghouse check kind of an omen.
Yeah, it's like, you think this is good, but actually there's going to be, a lot of taxes on this, and it's probably going to actually not be great in the long term.
Right.
So, maybe you should think about that.
Now it's something that I think I'm going to ask people when I meet them for the first time. Because it's not just who do you want to interact with in a moment of, confusion and joy.
Sure.
But really, though, honestly, who would you open your door for?
Right. Yeah, it's a good icebreaker question, for sure, when you're getting to know someone. Put in your dating app profile or whatever.
Oh, God. Haunting. Hey, welcome to Into the Twilight.
Hey.
We're glad that you're here.
Always.
How are you?
I'm here. I'm living. And I gotta be honest, okay? There's a lot of things I could have talked about today, but I have been afflicted. I'm currently suffering from Brat fever. There's nothing else I can think about, I can talk about. It's all Brat, baby. My everything is that lime chartreuse screen that when I close my eyes, it's, Windows Movie Maker graphics. It's all, that's it. That's it. I have nothing else.
Oops, all Brat.
Oops, all Brat. If you're unfamiliar, dear listener, and also don't have gay people in your phone and on your social media sites.
Then how are you listening to this podcast?
Right, yeah, exactly. First of all, you're in the wrong place.
You need to pause this, catch up on a lot of things.
It's the new album by Charlie XCX that dropped this week. And it's fucking bangers. It's so good.
We needed it at this time.
Yeah, I needed this so desperately. I didn't know I needed this. And I listened to it, I was like, yeah, I needed this. And she's always been doing her shit, which I love. But now it's like, this is her actual element. She's on the top of her game. It's bangers, but also shit that made me cry at 8 a.m. on a Friday morning. So that was fucked up. But it's wonderful. I'm so fucking into it. If I don't listen to Von Dutch like 5 times in a row every day, I feel like I can't live. It like puts something in my brain that's like, I can do anything and I'm a god. You know what I mean? Like it's just so important to me. But yeah, this, I've highlighted this TikTok from Kyle MacLachlan, Love of My Life, who himself has done a full Brat rebrand with his name and his profile pictures on all social media. And that's me. This is who I am now. This is my life now. I'm just pensive, pondering Kyle MacLachlan, looking in the mirror, listening to Brat. And that's it, baby.
I love him. I love Charlie. It's the perfect collab, and I love to see it so much.
I love it so much.
Every time that I say to you, like, what the fuck is up, Kyle, I'm referring to him.
Right, he is the titular Kyle, for sure.
Right?
Yeah. Parentheses, McLaughlin. Like, that's, you know.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. How are you doing, my friend?
I am live, laugh, bratting.
Yes. There are dozens of us.
I'm also very glad that Von Dutch is back in the vernacular that people are talking about Von Dutch again.
Literally.
Not that Von Dutch is good. That's not what I'm saying.
No,
it just brings
the
back
company
nostalgia.
bad.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Don't get it twisted.
Don't confuse excitement for support of Von Dutch.
Yeah.
I'm still on my Beverly Hills grind.
I love this for you.
I did see, I think it was a season and a half ago, a peek of Jennifer Tilly. She was there for a second at one of the parties.
Yep.
And it got me very excited.
God, yeah.
So that's exciting. My happy thing this week is the trailer for Never Stop Blowing Up.
Yes.
Which is D20's new campaign that they're launching on June 26th. Sam?
Yeah.
Listen, we talk so much about Dropout. Please and thank you. Okay. Y'all know this about me, but it's been a while. I was a latchkey kid. I grew up watching a lot of the same movies on fucking TNT, a lot of which were 80s thrillers and shit that was just on all the time.
Yeah.
So when I saw the promo for this, like the very teaser that we got, and it was just Brennan looking very just blown to bits, sweaty, dirty, bloody, I was like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah.
This looks very 80s. I'm in.
I'm so locked in. I'm so seated already.
It was giving a lot of Die Hard, and I was like, whatever this is, I'm very in. As a big fan of Star Trek Odyssey, I was like, I need no further information. I'm locked in. And then the trailer came out, and I screamed like
barking
it was
like a dog.
I was howling at the moon like One Direction was getting back together. And they weren't just on their break, quote unquote.
Yeah.
The premise of this, I'm surprised how into I am, because one of my biggest fears is Jumanji.
Yeah.
And I think that has more to do with the fact that I saw it at a very young age, and not the trope of it of like a thing within a thing, right?
Right, sure.
So the idea of this, like, they're in a Blockbuster, wink, employees, and they get sucked into a VHS, very good. That's not scary in itself. But Jumanji, you shouldn't see it like 6 years old and see very big, like, animals in a grocery store. Very scary. But it's like all 80s movies, and Jacob is finally in the dome.
I'm so excited for Wysocki to do whatever the fuck he's gonna do in there. And
they're taking these, like, they're just flipping a lot of the, like, 80s tropes, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, you get to have the femme fatale, you get to have the hacker, you get to have the mob boss, and I'm so excited that Iffy is there.
Yes. Oh my god.
And that he is shirtless on the promo image means everything to me.
Yeah.
I never thought that I would be able to see Izzy and Reika again together.
So good. I'm also I don't know if you ever watched the Hank Green one.
The Mentopolis?
Yeah,
yes.
Mentopolis, yeah. And Alex is just so phenomenal in that. I'm so excited.
I never thought I could hope that Alex would be back in the dome so quickly.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
And so to have Alex back, and something that I know you have not gotten to yet, but Reika and Allie have done 2 things in the dome that have almost made Brennan quit.
Right.
So to have them be in the dome together makes me very excited for Brennan's mental well-being and how that will be tested. The premise of this being like, you're going to take all of these tropes, flip them on their heads. I'm very excited. Plus, it is just, we don't often get to see Brennan dress up for campaigns. So to see him be in the, like, white tank tops a la Die Hard and, like,
to me.
bloody, dirty, right? I'm like, thank you, makeup, art, costuming teams.
Yeah.
Your work is seen and appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And that's just from the trailer. This hasn't even come out yet. But the energy from the cast alone makes me very excited. It's 10 episodes. That's great for a side quest. The work that Dropout has been putting out lately, I cannot tell you enough. I watch it more than any other streaming service.
Yeah.
I watch Dropout and then I go to Peacock because I have it through my internet to watch Real Housewives. That's it. That's it. I switch between them.
Yeah.
So, we're not getting paid from Sam, but it's really good use of your money. That's all I'll say. Yeah. But also, Sam, hey, what's up? We talk about y'all all the time.
Yeah. Get us in the dome.
I will say, having played before,
I
much more enjoy consuming the content than playing it. Just because my ADHD, I'm all over the place. Right. But happy to be paid for talking about this all the time.
Like, imagine like Brennan doing a Twilight themed, inspired by campaign. Could you imagine?
Would pass out. What I would love the most, honestly, is like all of the BTS stuff that they do. I want to be able to talk to Rick. I want to be able to talk to Michael. I want to be able to talk to all of the people that make this happen.
Yeah.
That's my favorite shit. Don't force me to sit in the dome because that would be a sensory nightmare. It's so bright in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving images.
There's a lot of moving images. Sounds. I know that they try to, get rid of some of the sounds of, Brennan eating his almonds, but you can't, eat, and it's not like playing with your friends, right? You have to perform. I want to go talk to everybody and see how the sausage gets made. That's what I want to do. Anyway, we have just 2 end of the spectrum pieces of news this week. The first one, that's a very light amuse-bouche for you. I never thought I would see these 2 together.
Yeah.
But we have Ariana Grande news.
We do. Who would have thought? It'd be relevant to our show. But welcome, friend of the pod, Ariana Grande.
So Miss Ma'am is promoting her single "The Boy Is Mine," and has decided, hey, fuck it, I know who I want for this music video. If I can get anyone, I'm gonna get Mr. Hotman.
Right.
Which, listen, hey, I don't blame her. I'm gonna get Penn Badgley.
Just incredible.
What were the conversations between their agents? I desperately need to know. I need it.
Like, and this is such beautiful, like, self-fan service, right? Of being like, listen, this is a song about, you know, my SpongeBob boyfriend.
God.
Who I love and
who
and
no
horny
one
for.
thirsts after.
Right. And so, as, like, a retcon, I'm gonna get someone I probably had a huge crush on through various parts of my life. You know this girl loved Gossip Girl, are you kidding?
Oh, literally.
And being like, and you, I'm sure, as well, and being like, let's get my boy in here and be really horny in it. And you know what? I love it. Good for
Let's
her.
make the public forget for a second that this song is about SpongeBob.
Right. And honestly, it's good. It's working, you know?
Yeah.
You kind of forget.
Listen, I love my short king, Penn Badgley. And for a second, I did forget that this was about SpongeBob.
Right.
So, good on her. It was smart.
Sometimes you just need to dress like Catwoman, and
sometimes you do.
Be sexy with Penn Badgley, and you're like, okay, yeah, for sure. You see the vision.
I just want to know. I just need to know. Like, Penn, were you interested in the song? Or has it just... Did the fucking strikes from last year, are bills tight, babe? Because I'm not going to knock you either way, right? Yeah. But what was the conversation there? Because I know Ariana probably pays... I'm going to hope she fucking pays well. I just need to know what the back end of that looks like.
Yeah.
Please.
I just want to know what those texts look like, you know?
No, literally.
I just need to see it.
We have a piece here from Deadline with a blurry photo of some K-Stew news. Could you tell the class?
Absolutely. Welcome back, BBBBB K-Stew Corner.
It's been a minute.
Has it? Because I feel like she's booked and busy. We are talking about her.
No, it was last week. That's right.
K-Stew is booked and busy. We know this.
Yeah.
We all know this. And we got more casting news. And a first for K-Stew, because it's a limited series, a television show.
I am so excited.
Yeah. And she's going to play Sally Ride, the famous female astronaut, in a show called The Challenger. It's for The Challenger. At Amazon MGM Studios. Which fucking hell yeah. Dude, are you kidding?
Can you imagine though? What is that reality TV show? Is it Challengers? There's another, or is it called The Challenge?
Yeah, The Challenge, I think, is. Yeah.
Can you imagine if that was what it was on? Like, if her agent came to her and was like, hey, do you want to be on The Challenge? And she was like, fuck, yes, dude, sign me up.
Yeah.
And then found out afterwards that it was actually about Sally Ride, which is dope as hell, by the way. I love Sally Ride. She's
for sure.
Super great. Love women in STEM. But she was like, finally, someone's asking me to be on a reality TV
she's
show.
like, I want to square up with Johnny Bananas and kill him, you know? Like,
I want to snap his neck.
Sorry.
They were like, sorry, Kristen, actually, it's not the traitors. God, I would kill for that, though. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, get her in, you know.
I want her to be with Bob on The Traitors Season 3. Let them team up, please, God.
Yeah.
No, this sounds dope, though. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, I'm incredibly stoked. You know, K-Stew does not really do TV, at least in the scripted arena of things. So this is kind of fucking sick. I'm into it.
I hope that this TV series, because Sally Ride's the one, they always tell that story about Sally Ride where it's like the other astronauts were like, how many pads do we pack for you? And they're like, we're only gonna be fucking you don't need to pack like 5,000, right? Like, I don't even know if I'm gonna have my period while I'm there. I hope they include that scene that they always tell.
They should,
because I can already see fucking Kristen's face.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Hell yeah.
I guess I'm gonna have to fucking get Amazon when this comes out.
Yeah.
Hey, Deadline, though, for next time, if you could get less pixelated photos, that'd be great.
Right, like, there's plenty of high-quality photos of Kristen we can use here.
All of the photos that you've included on this are so low res. It hurts me really bad. Oh, okay. I'm in pain. So last week, y'all made us watch The Descent.
Yeah.
And I cried the whole time, so fuck you for that.
Right.
Very rude. This episode 13, Daddy Issues. How are you feeling?
Man.
No, yeah, same. Yeah.
I fucking hate it here. I
thought we were done with John.
Right. The fact that John is becoming increasingly more important again is annoying. I do love, though, that him being there kind of gave Jenna another, like, I really don't know what the fuck is going on here, do I? kind of stuff. Like, once again,
she's
Jenna
so clueless all the time.
So confused and being like, what? And also just, because, like, he comes in and being like, hey, actually, I kind of run this shit, because Elena didn't tell you something that's important, and I'm her dad. And she was like, oh, yeah, sorry. I mean, I was going to tell you, but, like, also you're never here. You're not really involved in our lives. We barely see you. And she just, like, question marks all around her head floating. And it's like, LOL.
I forgot that she didn't know.
Right, yeah. I was like, I thought we were all... I didn't realize this was, like, cursed secret knowledge or whatever. Because it's, like, also, Jenna lives in this home. And, like, you guys are family. So, like, what is happening here? But also, Jenna's fucking getting dick appointments every, 6 ways Sunday. So I think she's busy, maybe just get the memo.
It's the funny thing about Jenna and Rick is this show feels a lot like getting the outside perspective of Bella and Edward, because Bella and Edward are so consumed with each other that this is like seeing the outside of it. Jenna, it's just like, where the fuck have you been, girl? Like, you're missing everything. And she's just like, damn, I've just been so busy in love. I'm forgetting everything.
It's tough, yeah. Like, I'm living my own life, and you guys are kind of doing your own thing. But yeah, you are missing a lot, girly pop.
You have children to take care of, Jenna.
Right. You're a guardian of
You
young
have bills
people.
to pay.
Right.
You can't just say, like, oh, it's teenage love, Jenna. Like, you have a job.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. But I guess just because we're in Elena's POV, that when it happened last time, we knew she, Isabel, John, Damon, Stefan knew. And I was just like, oh, well, obviously Jenna knew. But she knows nothing, so why would I assume that?
Yeah.
But of course, Jenna made it all about her. She was having a goddamn crisis about it.
Yeah.
I was shocked to see the Archer here this episode.
Yeah.
How much of their budget this week went to fucking Arnell?
Right. Yeah.
I just... Nobody had prepared me for him to be on here.
It was a jump scare, for sure.
I also don't know, personally, that I have seen him in anything. Like, I don't know that I've seen...
Like, his physical form. Like, as a person.
Like, obviously, I know him.
Right,
right?
Sure. Yeah.
But I didn't watch Arrow. I didn't watch The Flash. That wasn't... And I wasn't a Supergirl... Like, that wasn't my truth kind of thing. I honestly just know him from, like, the 2 episodes that he was in New Girl.
Right, and honestly, that's fair. Puts in the work in those episodes.
So I was just like, oh, hey, I know your face. But he did a really good job being a asshole.
Yeah, he was good, like, tough werewolf man being like, wrong side of the track energy. I was into it. Really embodies a guy named Brady, you know?
He gives very strong Brady energy to
incredible Brady energy, for sure.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Is it Steven, by the way, or is it Stefan?
I think it's, I don't know, actually. Whenever you put the H in there, I get confused. I'm like,
it
give
really
me a
fucks
V.
me up.
Or else I don't know where we're going here.
Because there's a person on the hills, well, and Laguna Beach.
Sure.
And it's Steven there.
Yeah.
Why is it when I put your name into Google that it doesn't just pronounce it for me? Of course he's Canadian. Okay. It's not going to tell me how this is pronounced. Cool. Great.
So shout out to Brady.
So shout out to Brady.
His name is Brady now.
Something went wrong. Try again in a few seconds.
No. It activated my Google. And it doesn't even say on Wikipedia how to pronounce it. So apparently you want me to pronounce it wrong, is what I'm hearing.
You want to make a fool out of me.
Great. Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to say Steven, because that sounds right to me.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to call him Brady, because that sounds fair.
Yeah.
Because he just feels like I wouldn't be surprised if his middle name was Brady, you know? Mm-hmm. And I know that he's, like, very deep in the CW universe because of, like, almost all the shows that he's done in the most recent time have been CW shows.
Sure.
So it's probably just, like, texting him, like, hey, you want to come down for an episode?
Yeah, you want to be a big bad boy.
It reminded me a lot, by the way. So Sterling K. Brown played a bad guy in a Supernatural episode.
Love that.
This episode reminded me a lot of that. Of, like, here's this... Sterling K. Brown is a lot more famous, I would say, than Arnell. But of, like, this is a fairly famous person. Let's just have them play, like, a real bad guy in this episode. Yeah. This episode, there were quite a few moments where I was in a lot of pain. But one thing that I just want to say to the writers, because the writers have been doing a really good job lately. They've been on my good side.
Right. Yeah, I'm not, like, angry with them as much.
This episode they got on my bad side again because I'm so tired of Caroline being used as a plot device, specifically for her needing to suffer.
Right. Like, I thought we were over this, y'all. Like,
I thought that was the whole thing.
That was our
like,
major complaint about Caroline in the beginning of this show. Of being like, she's just a pawn for other people. And now it's like, okay, she has some agency, but what if she was also a pawn again? And it's like, I got it. I understand. Can we do anything else here?
It is so annoying because Caroline, and this is nothing to Caroline now, because she is a fully rounded character who I love now.
Right.
I've done a full 180 on her. She has been nothing but supportive, risking her life for Tyler.
Right.
And doing it, like we've said, out of friendship and the goodness of her heart.
Yeah.
Not in a way of... And Tyler, because he had an abusive parent. Maybe parents. We don't really know a lot about his mom other than she's, like, complicit.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know how to interpret friendship other than, like, oh, so we're, like, together now?
Yeah.
But it's
like,
so
does that mean you love me? So
you love me?
I gave you a kiss, so we had a one kiss, and I think I love you, ? And poor Caroline's like, I'm just trying to be a friend. Yeah,
no,
right.
Literally.
Like, I'm just being a good friend, and everyone just wants to kiss me, and I'm frustrated.
But Jules, like, clocked this shit so quick, right? Of, like, I know how to manipulate you. I know what buttons to push. Mm-hmm. And fucking Tyler showing up at Caroline's house at, like, 7 a.m. being like, you killed my uncle.
Just, like, his menacing, like, his stance. It's just, like, right outside. She's just trying to, like, go to school or whatever. And she's like, oh, Tyler, hey. What's going on? It's, like, 7 a.m. And he's like, hey, you're not telling me stuff, and that makes me upset. Which, like, I mean, valid for sure, but also, like, we're being a little aggressive on this front here. This could have been an email, you know? We didn't have to,
literally.
Have to go all in on this like that.
He went so aggro, and it's like, sir, it's 7 a.m. The last time I saw you, you kissed me, and now you're pushing me up against my car. Your eyes are flashing. And you're like, I trusted you, Rar. Right?
Yeah, it's very Rar XD energy.
And it hurts so bad to have the, like, book ending of their interactions be him saying, I trusted you. And, like, it's not, what he's saying isn't wrong, right? Because Caroline lied by omission, if not lied outright, by not talking about Damon and Stefan also being vampires, and also not talking about how and that Mason was dead.
Right.
But then, and I was really proud of Caroline at the end of this episode by being like, go fuck yourself, first of all.
You just stood there, did nothing. You're not a friend.
Yeah, and you're not my friend.
I was a good friend. And fuck you, it's over, bitch. Protect your heart, Caroline. Jeez.
And I was so proud of her for doing that, because that's a big step for Caroline to do. And because the fact that he, like, him hesitating when she was caged up like that was so nasty.
Yeah. Him just being like, I don't know what to do. She
didn't hesitate with him at all.
Right.
In any of this process.
Mm-hmm. And he's being gaslit out here. And falling for it very easily.
And he is predisposed to it because that is a lot, like, we can assume that that's a lot of what his dad did. Mm-hmm. Which I get. But my dude, your friend is in a cage that you don't know any of these people. What the fuck? Like, have you no loyalty at all? Ugh. It's so nasty. It's so nasty.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all. And I will say, like, Brady, well, his real name is Arnell, I thought did a really good job of acting in the trailer with Caroline. Like, he was a really sick dude. I unfortunately did laugh with the water gun.
Oh my god. That was, like, so unserious, because, like, like, it looks honestly painful, but the way that it's presented, like, it just looks like a holy water spray bottle. You know what I mean? Like, it just is, like, so unserious. And, like, poor Caroline is just getting, like, essentially acid thrown in her face and being, like, in an immense amount of pain. But the fact that she's like you're spraying a cat who's doing something it shouldn't is kind of funny.
Because everything that he's done so far, I mean, homeboy shot her point blank in the face.
In the face.
With a wooden bullet. He's continuing to shoot her with a, like, real gun with wooden bullets. He uses one of those, like, little dart things.
Yeah.
And everything that he's doing is, like, really intense and scary. And then he pulls out a fucking, like, a really small, like, a dollar store water gun.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the ones that I can afford, not the ones that they show on commercials that are, like, really huge, cool water guns.
Yeah.
Like a dollar store water gun that's, like, bright green. And I was like...
And it's like, for my next trick, after all these, like, weapons of torture I've put on you, it's a little... Like, that's it.
Yes, exactly.
It's like, come on, man. What?
I couldn't help but laugh. It was so funny. Yeah. He was doing a really good job of being very intense and nasty.
Yeah.
Especially because the fact that now it makes sense of who Jules called of this, like, group of werewolves. I had thought it was Klaus before, but they don't seem to be fully aware until the end about the Moonstone. Mm-hmm. And I had thought at the jump that Jules knew about that.
Yeah, that was surprising that they were more like, what? Of being like, what stone? What kind of rock? I also loved it. I was like, they're looking for this dumb rock. Like, you know, like, I don't really know what the big deal was. And they're like, what are you talking about? Yeah, because I would have assumed that was like
so
her like plan. Yeah.
Yeah, like, it seems, if Jules knew from the jump that Tyler was this easy to manipulate,
right,
I would have thought that she would have put a couple of steps together that he, just how little he knew, and then have kind of done inventory of, like, so what do you know? Yeah. But, I mean, I guess, you know, there's also just been very little time for them to communicate. Yeah. At this point, which is fair. Another point that I did laugh at that I wasn't expecting was when Stefan showed up to Tyler and he about, like, shit his pants when that happened.
And just Tyler being like, okay, I'll be your friend or whatever. Are we done here? Can I go? And also Stefan being like, hey man, like, I'm, like, really trying to, like, save your life here. Can you be for real? And honestly, like, man, I would not trust you in this moment. I think we're not giving a good pitch here. We're not being really, really solid about our communication with each other.
He killed me in that moment trying to convince Tyler, because he's like, listen, like, we all go to the same school, like, it's all love now. It reminded me of one of those fucking, like,
baby.
No, literally, like, it reminded me of those, like, coexist bumper stickers.
Yes, totally. It's like, we can all live in harmony, baby. It's fine. We're good.
We don't have to. This is all just, like, old rumors. Like, vampires and werewolves don't have to fight each other.
Yeah, we can be friends. It's okay. We don't have to kill each other.
And they don't.
Right.
They don't, but the way that Stefan was explaining it, I was just like, you gotta do better than this.
Right. This is a pretty lackluster pitch. Like, why don't we just hold hands and sing Kumbaya together and maybe kiss a little, you know? Let's just, like, be friendly like that. And Tyler's just like, what? You're annoying and I don't like you.
I didn't like you before, but now I really don't like you.
Yeah.
And it's embarrassing. I need to know your thoughts about Damon this episode.
We are so back, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
It's actually so over. Because Damon's in his feelings, you know, and he's realizing things, but he doesn't have good coping mechanisms for things. He very bravely at one point is like, I'm actually staying away from women right now. He does not fall through on that promise for more than, like, 5 seconds.
No, I think he lasted, like, a good 10 seconds.
Yeah, but good try, good effort. You know, you love to see it. He's fucking up. He's down bad. He's not over Elena, nor his own views of his own immortality.
No.
And proclivity to murder, to feel something, which is not great. We did get one good moment, though, when, during, like, the little, werewolf fight type deal, where they were like, okay, so who killed this guy? And Damon's just like, that'll be me. It's like, you can tell he's, like, putting the stank on it, and it's like, buddy, can we be for real here about the Mason situation? But,
there was a moment in that scene, too, where after Brady, like, tells all of his little henchmen to go after Damon, he does this little, like, smirk
Yeah, for sure. He's
And-
excited. He's, like, turned on a little bit by this, by being, like, the guy who caused all
hate
the
him.
trouble. And fuck this man.
Because Brady was like, he said something like, make sure that one's like suffers. And Damon's like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I fucking, please, go as hard as you can. I need to be tortured by people that are not my own self and brain. Actually, that would be great. Punish me, baby.
I wasn't expecting this, and I should have. But I think it's because it started off that Stefan was so much like Edward that it caught me off guard. But Damon has swung so hard into Edward Cullen mode.
Yeah, totally.
That it has caught me off guard.
Yeah.
And and he does so much of a bravado. Like, he says something earlier on in this episode to Stefan where he's like, maybe I'll get a hero hairdo of my own and steal your thunder. And I almost did a spit take. I was so done with him.
That'd be so funny if next episode he comes back with just like a perfect coif like Stefan. And he's like, Brett, stop fucking copying me, man. What are you doing?
The fact that all of this, by the way, this all is happening this week where the, like, local event in Mystic Falls is the memorial from all the people that died last week.
Right, yeah. Because
There's a lot.
In a town where there are parties nonstop and and events and charities, they're like, how do we turn tragedy of being all of these, like, teens and adults being dead and or missing? What if we also made a big shebang out of that? Yeah, we also get to see, like, a little bit of, like, what the local news looks like.
And it's been a while since that happened.
Right, yeah, like, usually we got, like, okay, we have, you know, the journalists on the scene, but it's like, okay, let's, like, actually have someone diegetically watch and listen to the news and be like, Mayor Lockwood. It's like, okay, all right.
Because the last time that we got a newscaster was when the newscaster turned into a vampire.
Yes, right.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
And that poor newscaster did not last long.
No. Rest her soul.
Which wasn't great.
Also, like, the hard cut from, I forget what sad song it was, but immediately into silence and then to Damon just macking in a bathtub with bubbles with this journalist was wild. It was incredibly wild. He did not make it very far in terms of the women thing, and he was like, let me get in the tub with this journalist lady, and also immediately confessed to being a murderer to a journalist. So that's cool. Love that for him. We're really doing some great self-preservation here, Damon.
And we talked about this last week, but it is even more important this week how much Damon needs a vampire therapist to talk to.
Like, it's so bad. This is, we're reaching, like, volatile levels of destruction, personally and just as human lives are considered. Like, we can't, this is unsustainable, you know?
Damon, each time that you need a journal, you can't kill a woman instead.
Right. Right, like, this is not really a healthy coping mechanism for your emotional problems. And not to say your emotional problems are not tough, you know? There's a lot going on in
That's
that
true.
big brain of yours. But the solution, maybe, is not a human woman. Multiple times. Multiple human women to pay the price for your emotional trauma.
That moment was wild. Of him not only being in that bathtub with her after we saw at the start of the episode when he was in the shower.
Right.
But also him compelling her not to be afraid.
Dude.
And then when the blood, like, ran into the bathwater.
Yeah.
It was a
kind
really
of a
interesting shot.
Gorgeous.
It was.
Almost, like, romantic murder.
It was. I agree.
Like, he's getting a lot more emotional and sensual with these kills, you know, which, you know, is very much a projection of his own situation, right? But it's very interesting of, like, the last one with the woman in the freeway, and being, like, on the brink of letting her go and then not, and then kind of having loss of control. And this one, it's much more of, like, okay, let's make her feel not scared of me, because I feel like I scare everyone. And then also do the thing I want to do, but in, like, a way that feels better in his brain. Not like it's objectively good, but it is interesting of, like, his gears are turning a little bit more in, like, how do I do this proclivity I have to deal with my problems? And also make them feel fine with it.
It's not lost on me
Yeah.
that this is happening, that he's continuing to kill these women when earlier in the day he's having these minor, for Damon, right? These minor outbursts towards Elena when she is expressing concern towards him and also showing physical affection towards him. Because this is the second episode where she has, like, reached out to his shoulder, expressed concern towards him when they were, like, in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And she was, like, touching Damon's shoulder, and he said, you need to stop doing that. And he went off and was like, I'm not a good guy. Like, you need to stop expecting that I'm going to do the right thing, before fucking John came in and ruined the moment. But I will also say, I wrote this down in my notes. I love Elena in a ponytail because she had so much spunk this episode.
Yeah. The ponytail really, she was channeling some stuff.
She was channeling some strong energy this episode towards John and really giving it to him, which I appreciated.
Yeah, for being like, you're never gonna be my dad, bitch. Like,
which is true, right?
Right.
Of being like, just because you may be, like, biologically my dad, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like you.
You're only here when it's convenient. Fuck off.
And I was wondering, because I wrote this down because I wasn't sure. I don't think that we knew the stuff that came out at the end of this episode that Catherine had compelled Stefan to find Isabel.
Right.
I knew
like,
that.
yeah.
I don't think that we knew that it was a compulsion.
I don't think so. It seemed more of like, I think in our perception, it's like, this guy is dead fucking tired. He's like, fine, I'll just do whatever. You know? Like, if that's
which
what
makes
you think
a lot
will
more
happen.
sense.
Yeah.
Why? I think it might have been 2 episodes ago now. Why we were like, what the fuck is his deal? Like, where is he? Why is he on this mission? And it makes sense now why, because he had to.
Yeah. Also love, too, that earlier in the episode, Stefan was like, listen, I couldn't find Isabel, okay? So I just got the next best thing, which is John. Like, I was out there for a really long time, and she's hard to find, okay? She's booked and busy. So John is always just hanging around. I just got John. Sue me. It's like, you are useless.
It makes me concerned, and also more intrigued in Isabel, honestly.
Yeah.
That Isabel knew and also had the stuff on hand for how to kill an original.
Right, she had the book. She had everything you needed.
She had the dagger and the ash. What the fuck?
Yeah. Hello?
But it is very interesting to me that it came out at the end when John went to go see Catherine, that they are on a plan together to get Catherine out.
Yeah.
And that
it's already,
Isabel,
like, in
for some
motion.
reason, is, like, working on something so Klaus never shows up.
Oh, gosh. I'm nervous.
So, of course, John is in cahoots with Catherine.
This fucking dude. Dude.
And he has the audacity earlier, like, still at the end of the episode, to go to Elena and be like, hey, so I know you don't like me or whatever, but, like, here's this necklace from your mom. Not Isabel, but, like, from the mom that you were raised with. And she's like, I don't trust you. Like, I know what this is.
Yeah. Every time one of you people gives me something, I am really a little skeptical of what they're going to do. No thanks, man.
There are two things that I'm very curious about with this episode that I want to know your thoughts on. One is, at the end of this episode, I got, and I don't know that they're necessarily planning this, but I got more chemistry at the end of this episode with Stefan and Caroline than I did with Stefan and Elena this whole episode.
Yeah.
And I thought that it was cute that Elena and Bonnie showed up for Caroline.
Yeah. That was cute.
To take care of her.
Like a little, hey girl, like, sorry you got kidnapped and
Trauma.
tortured. Let's have
We've
a
all been there.
sleepover. Let's play some party games. Let's get a little drunk, maybe. Girls' night, you know?
And I would love to know your thoughts on Jeremy and Bonnie this episode.
Oh my gosh.
Because I was not expecting to see... my hopes were not there. I didn't expect to see them.
Right. Like, I thought, you know, this would be more of a, you know, different vibe here, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm not... I don't know how I feel.
It was the conversation that Bonnie had with Dr. Martin, where she was like, I don't trust you. I don't know what your deal is.
Right.
I'm glad that she had that.
Yeah, she needed
because
that,
I was
like,
still...
disclosure, yeah.
I agree. And I was still unsure about what his whole deal was. But then he kept the bargain at the end and came in to the werewolves and was like, y'all need to chill. They're supposed to be safe.
Yeah, there are other people here. Let's keep our visions focused, all right? Let's not have some collateral damage.
Yeah. Which makes me curious that if they're actually going to leave. Because Dr. Martin can't compel people. So I'm confusion.
Yeah.
About how that will work. But the next episode has Jeremy and Bonnie in it again.
Yeah, and like looking a little romantic.
Yeah.
A little tender.
This episode, I will say, they just seem to be, like, vibing.
Yeah, they're just, like, chilling at the grill. Like, they're sitting next to each other, but it doesn't seem like, you know, like they're an item at this moment. But, I mean, Jeremy is smiling. And we never see that.
He was cheesing a lot.
He's cheesing. And we don't see that for poor Jeremy.
I know.
He's
the thing with
often
them, though,
tortured
like,
man.
It's not going to work between them.
No, of course not.
But I'm gonna just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Before it starts to hurt.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Let them have, you know, a crumb of happiness before it gets real bad.
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel about it. Yeah. What I love is, like, especially this episode, and I think it was primarily because of the, like, Henley that they had Tyler wearing. Homeboy looked 25, just like Jeremy does. Which I thought was very funny. But yeah, next week is called Crying Wolf. So, listen, I still don't know how I feel about Tyler. It's just that he's very
pissing me off.
He's pissing
that.
me off. I don't like the way that he treated Caroline. I'm also very concerned because the fact that he's new and doesn't know a lot. I'm worried that in the hands of Jules and Brady, this is a very important time that if they manipulate him, I'm concerned.
Yeah.
He could go dark side, and that's what I'm worried about. And I don't want him to die going dark side. Like, that would suck. You know what I mean?
Right. Be a brutal way to go.
Yeah. We have some amazing patrons to thank. Do you want to start us off?
Absolutely. Thank you to Sean Salvatore.
Ooh, thank you to Megan Pattinson.
Ooh, thank you to Katya Karp.
Ooh, thank you to Ashton Vogel.
Pew pew. Thank you to Genevieve Morgan.
Ooh, thank you to Danielle Burke.
Ow. Thank you to Janae Bennett.
Ooh, thank you to Sophia Salinger.
Ow. Thank you to Dan Seklos.
Ooh, and last but certainly not least, thank you to Emily Ozera.
Ow.
I have a fan fiction for you.
Incredible.
It is by the author Femme Noir. It is titled The Start of Something. The summary is the 2 times Jeremy kissed Bonnie.
Okay.
And there's only 1 chapter, so this is a snippet from it. I remember this scar, he said, running his hand lightly up her thigh. She shivered under his touch. The lake, she said, her voice hoarse. They were lying in the grass behind Bonnie's house, staring up at the sky. He was just close enough to feel the warmth of her body, but far enough away not to freak her out. At least he had been, until he couldn't resist the urge to graze her skin, the memory of that day fresh in his mind. I can't believe you let Elena convince you to jump in the lake, he chuckled. She blushed softly. How was I supposed to know that rope swing wouldn't hold? You mean besides the fact it's probably been hanging from that tree since World War I? She kicked him in the calf, playfully. He stole a glance at her from the corner of his eye and focused on the way that she bit her lip, a sure sign that she was nervous. He made her nervous. It wasn't entirely clear when this became something different. 1 minute she was Bonnie, his sister's friend who always laughed at his jokes, even if he told them wrong. She was the same girl who made him peanut butter cookies, his favorite, when he didn't make the baseball team freshman year. And when Elena and Caroline hold him down to pluck his eyebrows and give him a facial, it was Bonnie who helped him wipe off the gunk and mussed up his eyebrows just enough to hide the damage. But then the next minute, she was Bonnie, the first girl he ever really wanted to kiss, and so he leaned over and did just that. End scene.
Okay, a little eyebrow plucking. Okay.
Knowing Jeremy, he'd be like, oh my god, it hurts, stop.
Right, it's like, ugh, you do this all the time? Fuck.
I can't believe you did this, stop.
Ow.
When it's like, knowing him, and then it'd be like, 2 weeks later, you'd see him in the bathroom, like that Jack and Jill bathroom doing it again. It's like, what the fuck, Jeremy? I told you it wasn't that painful. Oh, amazing. Well, friends, enjoy Brat. Get a brat.
Yes.
Take care of yourselves. Tell your friends about the show. As Cody told you, send us pictures of you in our merch.
Yes.
And as we say here in the Pacific Northwest,
get bit.
Ooh.
Ow.
Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. You can follow us on Twitter at Into the Twilight or on TikTok at Into the Twilight Show. You can find me at Cody Corral on Twitter and Allie at Alexandria Does. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Into the Twilight. We have merch, so much stuff. All those links are in the episode description. And make sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast hosting platform. It really helps the show. Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media, audio for everyone.